My child, stop scrolling. I am the Lord, and I have a word so urgent, so personal, so explosive in power, that missing it could cost you more than you know. What you're about to hear isn't just information, it's activation. It's the turning point your spirit has been groaning for. Tomorrow changes your life, but what happens next hinges on what you do now. So don't just watch casually. Lean in like your destiny depends on it. Stay until the final breath of this message, because I've hidden specific instructions that unlock what I'm releasing next. Heaven is leaning forward. Angels are already moving. Your obedience to stay is the door I'm using to walk in. What I am about to say, no one else can receive it for you. Let's begin. My beloved child, stop what you are doing. Not later. Not after your mind finishes rehearsing the worries you've been carrying. Not once the noise around you settles. No, now. This is not simply an invitation to sit with me in the quiet. This is an emergency summons from the highest courts of heaven, sealed by my authority, carried on the breath of angels, and delivered directly into the atmosphere of your life. I have watched you wander through days filled with questions and nights filled with aching silence. I have seen your heart swing between hope and heaviness, between belief and resignation. But what I need you to understand is that this very moment, the one you are in right now, has been circled on heaven's calendar long before you ever drew your first breath. This is not suggestion, child. This is a divine interruption. Oh, the alarm. A piercing call that demands your full attention, because tomorrow is not just another day. It is the day everything changes for you. You hear me? Not eventually, not somewhere off in the distance. Tomorrow, the shift you've been praying for, the change you thought might have passed you by, the answers you wept for in the dark, they are now aligned with my appointed hour. I have summoned angelic messengers to descend into your space. I have paused other assignments in heaven to focus all of my attention on you. You are the one who kept praying when no one else believed anymore. You are the one who carried the weight in silence while others danced in celebration. This is your divine moment, and it is emergence-level holy. Don't let the casual pace of this world deceive you. What I am about to do will not wait for you to be emotionally ready or intellectually prepared. That's why I'm calling you now. Because this shift will only be received by the surrendered, the available, the attentive. Tomorrow holds more than you dreamed. It holds the kind of turning point that rewrites timelines. That's why this is urgent. That's why this word found you. Because I don't need your perfection. I need your attention. Let me explain to you, my child, why the urgency is so strong, why your spirit has felt stirred, even panicked at times, though you couldn't put words to the weight pressing on your chest. It is because my spirit has been brooding over your life with anticipation. You are not wrong to sense something building. What you mistook for anxiety was divine recognition. Your soul has known before your mind could comprehend it, that something holy, irreversible, and deeply personal is approaching. I have held this moment in my hands, kept it tucked behind the veil of time, until your spirit had matured enough to carry what is now ready to be poured. And I need you to understand what begins tomorrow cannot be treated casually. You cannot scroll past this word like it's another dose of temporary comfort. You cannot tell yourself maybe this is for someone else, old child. This is your scroll being unsealed, your hour being announced. This is me looking you directly in the soul and declaring that time has come. You may ask why now, Lord, and I will answer you plainly. Because you're ready. You didn't think you were, but I did. You didn't feel qualified, but I called you. You didn't see progress, but I saw roots growing in unseen places. I watched you remain faithful while your heart ached for resolution. I saw you choose me over and over again when easier paths beckoned you away. And now tomorrow I respond not with partial blessing, not with distant hope, but with divine demonstration. I will touch areas of your life that have sat silent for too long. I will activate what the enemy tried to convince you was permanently dormant. And hear me, child. What I start tomorrow cannot be stopped by human hands. No system can delay it. No voice can cancel it. I'm opening something eternal. And the reason I sent this word ahead of it is because I needed your heart to stand at the door with open arms. This is your hour. This is your crossing over. So pause everything. Hear me clearly. Your tomorrow has already been written in breakthrough ink, and the ink is still wet. You are about to walk into what I whispered over you in secret, and nothing will ever be the same again. My beloved child, listen closely to me. While the world turns tomorrow like it does every other day, and while men may mark it as just another Monday, just another sunrise, just another tick of the ticking time, I have labeled it differently. Heaven hasn't called it common. The angels do not call it ordinary. I have declared it a divine tipping point, a moment where the weight of your waiting finally outweighs the resistance that tried to hold you back. You stand not barely, not broken, not behind, but directly at the very edge of fulfillment. And I need you to hear me say this with thunder in my tone and tenderness in my eyes. Nothing will stop what I have decreed. You have seen days blur together, haven't you? Watched the same routine cycle like a wheel that never quite lands where you hoped. You felt like you were caught in a divine delay, wondering if maybe the promise passed you by. But I tell you, child, you were not stuck. You were being staged. Everything, every delay, detour, disappointment was setting the scene for a divine reversal. And tomorrow, the invisible scales begin to tip. The prayers you thought had disappeared into heaven's silence have been weighing down the bowls of my remembrance. Your intercession was not ignored. It was gathering momentum. And now the moment has come when the weight of your obedience causes the entire spiritual climate to shift. Do you feel the tension in the air? That's the weight of glory pressing against time. This is not metaphor. This is motion. The kind of divine movement that splits sea from sea and summons dry land to appear where only water once ruled. When I say tipping point, I don't mean a subtle shift or a mild adjustment. I mean the kind of shift that reverses verdicts, overwrites timelines, and rearranges rooms you haven't even entered yet. The kind of shift that silences the voice of delay and shouts your name into divine acceleration. The kind that makes people ask, how did this happen so suddenly? And yet, only you and I will know the truth. It was never sudden. It was sovereign. There's a sound in the spirit realm right now, a sacred silence before the breaking open. Can you feel it? A breath of stillness before the trumpet blast. That's what tomorrow carries. Not a trickle of a change, but a torrent. Not a gradual unfolding, but a holy eruption. And I need you to be poised like a page, waiting for the ink of promise. Because what I write next, onto the script of your life, has been kept hidden in my hand until this very hour. No, this is not hype. This is holy. This is heaven leaning low with blueprints I drew in my divine imagination long before your feet ever touched earth. You are not stumbling into a lucky day. You are stepping into a strategic unveiling authored by eternity. And I am the author who finishes what he starts. So I ask you, child, not with heaviness, but with holy hope, will you trust me one more time? Will you wake tomorrow, not with dread, but with divine expectation? Will you allow your spirit to rise before your logic catches up? Will you let the flicker of faith outshine the fog of fear? Because when you stand at the edge of fulfillment, your posture matters. Posture isn't performance, it's surrender. It's the stillness that leans forward, not backwards. It's the heart that whispers, God, I don't understand it, but I'll receive it. You've waited so long. Others have forgotten what you were holding on to. Some even mocked your faith, mistaking your patience for passivity. But you were never passive. You were postured for promise. And now the heavenlies know it. The clock has struck, and the hour has arrived. Fulfillment is not future tense anymore. It is pressing against your present. And I, your Lord, have positioned every piece for this precise moment. The calendar may call it Tuesday, but I call it transition. The world may wake to routine, but you will wake to recompense. Because this isn't just the tipping point for a situation. It's the turning point of your life. You've been feeling it, haven't you, child? The heaviness in the room when no one else feels it. The sudden surges of emotion that don't quite make sense. The inexplicable tension in your chest that comes and goes like tides drawn by an invisible moon. That wasn't coincidence. That wasn't random. That was me. The pressure pressing in around your spirit has not been for your destruction. It was for your delivery. You are not unraveling. You are awakening. What felt like chaos was actually contraction. You weren't breaking down. You were being broken open. Let me speak this plainly to your soul. Breakthrough doesn't come in silence. It comes in labor. You've been in the birth canal of destiny, and heaven has felt the tremors of your travail. Every cry that came out of you in the middle of the night, every groan of how much longer, Lord, wasn't an echo lost in the dark. It was a labor pain, a sound that shook the gates of what was being held back. You thought you were just barely holding on, but in the spirit, you were pushing with power. Even the sighs you didn't say aloud, I heard them as signals, and now the shift has begun. The birth is not waiting. And here, don't be surprised that the pressure intensified before this moment. It always does. Right before dawn, the darkness thickens. Right before rain, the clouds swell to bursting. And right before breakthrough, everything tightens. Your relationships, your schedule, your emotions, your strength, it all starts to press. But child, hear me. Pressure is proof that the promise is near. When a baby is about to be born, the mother doesn't panic at the pain. She prepares to push. So do not misinterpret your discomfort as disqualification. It is divine proof you are near the crowning moment of my promise. I didn't allow this pressure to punish you. I allowed it to position you. Every ounce of resistance has softened your spirit to carry what I'm about to entrust to you. This is not wasted pain. This is pregnant purpose. And what you are birthing is not small. That's why it hurt so much. That's why it lingered so long. I was forming something rare, something that doesn't arrive with ease, something so uniquely tailored to you that I had to allow pressure to make room. And now that room is ready. The contractions have signaled to the angels. Prepare the delivery, my child. This breakthrough will not resemble anything you've received before. It won't come through the usual pathways. It won't sound like the old victories. This one will arrive roaring with revelation. You've graduated from surviving to birthing. You shifted from holding on to ushering in. And I want you to know, not one moment of that pressure went unseen. I was with you in the labor. I counted every breath, every ache, every tear. I sat beside you in the quiet hospital room of your private suffering. And I am the one delivering what you never stopped believing for, even when everything around you said it was impossible. So let this truth settle into your spirit like morning light. You didn't almost lose everything. You almost gave birth to everything. And now that moment has come. The enemy wanted you to interpret the pressure as failure. But I say to you, interpret it as fulfillment. The pain wasn't a warning. It was a signal. The tightness in your chest, the shaking in your spirit, the tears you couldn't explain. They were contractions. And now the waters have broken. The heavens have opened. The promise is crowning. And I, your God, your Father, your Deliverer, am in the room. Can you feel it, child? That stirring in the wind, the one that doesn't rustle, leaves but rattles your soul. That sudden quickening in your spirit when everything else is still. That's not a passing emotion. That's not a fleeting thought. That's me. I am no longer speaking in subtle symbols or elusive metaphors. I am not hiding behind dreams that vanish by morning. No, I'm raising my voice. I'm sounding the trumpet of transformation over your life. I have moved from whisper to war cry. What I once tucked gently into your heart, I am now shouting from heaven's balcony. And listen to me. You are the reason for the sound. This is not general. This is deeply specific. I didn't send this trumpet blast across creation for crowds to hear. I sent it for you. Yes, you. The one reading this right now, weary but still holding on. Heaven's sound system is resounding with a single frequency. Fulfillment. Not another delay. Not another vague confirmation. This is a divine announcement that what I whispered in shadows is now being declared in sunlight. I'm amplifying what was once concealed. You kept my secrets in seasons of silence, and now I'm lifting the volume on your breakthrough. When I sound my trumpet, child, it doesn't just make noise, it shakes structures already ready, because what you hear now is not hype. It is heaven's herald. Trumpets are not casual instruments. They don't lull people to sleep. They wake the world up. In ancient days, a trumpet meant three things: a call to arms, a call to attention, and a call to advancement. And right now I'm calling you into all three, the call to arms. Because the battle you're in isn't just for survival, it's for strategy. The enemy knows something is near. That's why warfare intensified. But I tell you, no weapon forged can stand when my trumpet resounds. The call to attention because I need your focus, child. Not just your faith, but your undivided gaze. This is a time to look up, not around. You are being summoned to see what is being unveiled. And lastly, the call to advancement. You are not staying where you are. You are marching forward to places no one thought you'd reach. This isn't optional movement. This is orchestrated momentum. Let me say it plainly. This trumpet isn't a warning. It is a witness. It testifies that transformation is not approaching the altar. And I am not transforming you privately only. I am doing it publicly, not for pride's sake, but for promise's sake, so others will see what I can do with a surrendered soul. This trumpet is not blasting for attention. It's blasting for alignment. The frequency it carries is designed to break chains and build bridges, the bridge between where you were and where I'm taking you, and every sound it releases is customized for your destiny. You are not lost in the noise, child. You are the reason for the sound. And here is what I want you to grasp. When I sound, the trumpet heaven listens. Earth responds, and hell trembles. This is not symbolic. It is supernatural. I am trumpeting to awaken the dormant, to disturb the stagnant, and to summon the hidden favor assigned to your name. You've waited in the wings. You stood silently while others took the spotlight. But now I blow the trumpet not to announce their success, but your emergence. You didn't push for this. You didn't manipulate it. You waited. And I honor the wait with weighty release. So do not mute the sound with doubt. Don't cover your ears with insecurity. Don't treat this trumpet like it's a passing sound bite. This is the very voice that told Lazarus to rise, the same voice that shattered Jericho's walls. And now, I sound it for you. Tomorrow the vibration will increase. It will resound in small confirmations and large collisions. And when it does remember, this isn't just me speaking loudly. It's me declaring the time has come. You are not just near the change. You are the reason I am declaring it with such force. Child, I have watched you try to shrink yourself to stay comfortable in spaces I never meant for your forever. I've seen you contort your calling to fit into environments that no longer nurture your growth. I've heard the whispers of your own heart asking, why do I feel so pressed, so restless, so stretched? And I speak now with clarity. You've outgrown what once held you. And that job, that relationship, that pattern of thinking, that version of you, it once served its purpose, but now it has become a ceiling. And I never meant for you to live under ceilings. I made you for skies. Your discomfort isn't dysfunction. It's divine disturbance. I've been expanding your spirit in the quiet, stretching your discernment, enlarging your capacity, deepening your hunger. And now the walls around you can no longer contain what I've placed within you. You were never meant to remain planted in a pot. You were meant to become a garden. The restlessness in your spirit is not rebellion. It's revelation. You are not breaking down. You're breaking out. Like a cocoon that can no longer contain a forming butterfly. You are not going backward. You are breaking forward. Let me speak to your fear. The fear of change, of letting go, of stepping into something you cannot yet see. I know the thought of outgrowing a season feels like loss, but what feels like losing is actually launching. You're not losing your grip. You're being lifted. This stretch isn't here to snap you. It's here to strengthen you. The tension you feel isn't punishment. It's the pull of purpose. And I'm not stretching you for fun. I'm making space for what I've been waiting to release. Child, I'm pouring something heavy, and heaven only pours into prepared vessels. I wouldn't stretch you if I wasn't about to fill you. You've been wondering why the old comforts don't feel comforting, why the friendships feel distant, why the room that once felt safe now feels small. It's because I've outfitted you with a new garment, and the old environment can't handle the new mantle. That's not rejection. That's redirection. Don't mourn the space that no longer fits. Celebrate the growth that made it tight. You are expanding, child. You are enlarging. And the space I'm moving you into is built to handle the volume of blessing I've assigned to your name. And now hear this clearly. Do not try to re-enter what I've already closed. Don't try to re-shrink to be more palatable to people who never saw your full calling. You don't belong in Egypt anymore. And you don't fit in wilderness mentality. You're being led to promised territory. And the only way to walk into it is with room to run. The space I'm leading you to won't just stretch your spirit. It will satisfy it. Because what I'm about to release, the insight, the relationships, the opportunities, the revelation is too heavy for the version of life you've been tolerating. That's why I let the wall tighten. That's why you feel the stretch. Because I'm getting ready to pour out the promise. So lift your head. Loosen your grip on what was. Widen the door of your faith. The stretch is almost complete. The tension is the sign that release is near. You haven't been failing. You've been forming. And now what couldn't fit before is finally making room. You will not return to small. You will not reduce to survive. You will expand to overflow. And what once confined you will now testify of how far I've taken you. My precious child, have you noticed it lately? The sudden distractions, the heavy fog over your focus, the strange friction in conversations, the doors that used to swing wide now creaking closed, the voices that once cheered you on suddenly growing silent, or worse, critical. Yes, you felt it. And no, it's not in your imagination. You are not being paranoid. You are not too sensitive. What you're feeling is spiritual interference. The enemy has picked up on what's being prepared for you in my courts. His ear is rubbing on the echoes of glory gathering in the heavenlies. He's catching glimpses of the angels I've assigned to go before you. And because he cannot stop me, he's trying to stop you with noise, nuisance, and numbness. But child, listen to me. Distraction is not denial. The increase in spiritual static is not a sign that you're off course. It's proof that you're near the finish line. The enemy doesn't waste energy on the directionless. He targets the ones who are carrying something sacred. And right now, you are heavy with holy, pregnant with promise, brimming with breakthrough. And that's why the battle feels personal, because it is. But I, your defender, declare over you this day. No demonic delay, no human interference, no internal fear can cancel a divine appointment. What I have scheduled, no power in hell can unschedule. Let me be even more clear. This distraction storm is strategic, but so is my protection. The distractions are not just random detours. They are designed distortions meant to pull you out of alignment. Subtle voices that twist truth, enticing opportunities that lead nowhere, delays that make you question your decisions. But child, do not be deceived. I gave you discernment for this hour, and I am sharpening it now like a sword. Because what I've prepared for you isn't just a blessing. It's a battleground breakthrough, one that shifts atmospheres, one that unlocks legacy, one that rewrites the narrative not just for you, but for those connected to your obedience. And that's why the distractions came like a flood. That's why you've been feeling off, disoriented, distant. The enemy isn't just trying to bother you. He's trying to break your rhythm, but I have built your rhythm on rock. I am anchoring you in the storm. I'm fortifying your focus. I'm not letting the whirlwind of lies uproot the seeds we planted in the soil of your surrender. The confusion you feel is not permanent. It's passing. The interference is not the end. It's the indication. And I tell you today, the storm is the prelude to the summoning. When the distractions crescendo, it's because destiny is knocking louder. So stand still, child. Let the winds blow, but do not be moved. You've come too far to fall for the familiar lies. This is the time to tighten your gaze, to tether your heart to trust my voice above all others. I'm calling you deeper, not to isolate you, but to insulate you from the enemy's tactics. The enemy wants to make you feel late, lost, or left out. But I tell you, you are right on time, right on track, and directly in the flow of my favor. No distraction can delete what I have destined. No warfare can wipe out what I've written. No attack can knock what I've aligned. Let the enemy try. Let him throw the tantrum of tactics. Let him send distractions dressed in logic, drama, and urgency. They won't work because your heart is hidden in me, because your focus is firm, because your yes has been heard in heaven. The appointment stands. The meeting is set. The moment is marked. And not even hell's highest-ranking agents can erase what I etched into eternity. So lift your head, wipe your tears, and lean back into trust. The noise may be louder, but my voice is clearer. And my promise, it is still on schedule. Giant, come closer. I want to tell you something that only I could know, something that human minds would struggle to grasp. But your spirit is ready to receive tomorrow. Yes, that very day you thought might be just another page, turned, carries a seal. Not the stamp of circumstance, not the signature of coincidence, but a seal from my own hand, a divine imprint forged in eternal fire. You see, this moment you're entering is not random. It's not manufactured by your efforts, nor manipulated by the world. It has been written, authored in the ink of my omniscience, prepared in the stillness of the ancient days, and sealed for such a time as this. What's coming to you tomorrow is not a bonus. It's a blueprint. It's not a late reward. It's an on-time release. There is nothing accidental about the timing. While you've paced your floors in uncertainty, I've been placing pieces in the background with divine precision. The moment that's about to unfold was not placed on your timeline by the will of man. It was written into the fabric of forever. And I tell you now, this isn't just a new day. It's a holy unveiling. And when I place my seal on a day, no demon, no delay, no doubt can deny its arrival. Think back, child. Remember the moments when you almost gave up, the days you questioned your worth, the hours you spent wondering if I even remembered what you asked for. All the while I was withholding this day, hiding it like a sacred gift, wrapped in layers of glory and weight. I didn't release it before because it wasn't time. And I don't release destiny prematurely. I protect what matters. And child, you matter. The dream you carry matters. The pain you walk through matters. The obedience you showed when no one clapped matters. That's why I sealed tomorrow with purpose, not potential. Purpose. And let me tell you why that seal is so powerful. It is irreversible. What I am about to do is not up for renegotiation. But I have no regret and no revision. This isn't a season of suggestion. It's a season of sovereign unveiling. And you are not late. You are not missing it. You are not an afterthought. You are the reason I delayed other things to make room for this exact hour. Heaven is not in a hurry, but it is in motion. Angels are not confused. They are commissioned. And I'm not scrambling. I'm sealing. So tomorrow, I want you to wake up with eyes that search not for signs, but for seals. I want you to listen, not just for sounds, but for the stirrings of purpose. Because the day has already been marked. What you experience will not be luck. It will be legacy. Every encounter, every divine appointment, every shift in the atmosphere is sealed. This is the type of day that has glory written all over it. My fingerprints will be evident. My timing will be undeniable. My strategy will be irrefutable. You will not be able to explain it. You will only be able to testify. And child, when you testify, tell them this. This was not a random moment. This was a sealed miracle. This was written in heaven before you ever knew how to hope for it. Because that's the truth. I sealed tomorrow not to impress you, but to establish you. You are being ushered into a day that was forged in forever. And now that forever has kissed your timeline, already the seal is breaking. And when it does, everything will change. My child, how many times did you stare at the ceiling in the silence and ask, why is it taking so long? How many days did you wake with expectation only to watch the clock tick forward without visible change? I know. I was there. I heard every unspoken question buried in the rhythm of your routine. And I tell you now, you weren't in a season of stagnation. You were in a season of synchronization. You saw stasis, but I saw sacred sequencing. Because what you call delay, I call divine alignment. What you call waiting, I call weaving. Every moment, every minute, every heartbeat was being tethered to timing so perfect, it could not be rushed. I need you to understand this. I wasn't late. I wasn't distracted. I wasn't trying to make you prove your faith through extended silence. I was positioning players, opening atmospheres, lining decisions, and closing counterfeit doors that would have looked like blessings, but were actually detours. You couldn't see it, but I was behind the curtain of time. Not improvising, but orchestrating. Not adjusting, but arranging. Your season of slow was surgical. I was performing a heavenly operation on your timeline, cutting with precision, stitching with wisdom, and preparing for a moment that would arrive not a second too soon. You see, my child, in my kingdom, I don't operate by human calendars. I operate by Kairos, the appointed time, the time that carries the weight of eternity within it. And that kind of time isn't rushed. That kind of time requires orchestration on levels you've never imagined. I was synchronizing people you don't even know yet, setting up conversations across continents, influencing decisions that seemed unrelated to you, but were actually interconnected threads in your breakthrough tapestry. The no you received 3 months ago. It wasn't rejection. It was realignment. A door that stayed closed. It wasn't a denial. It was a delay for divine delivery. Let me remind you of something. Even when the earth was formless and void, I was not in a hurry. I spoke each piece into existence with precision and patience. Light didn't rush the land. Waters didn't interrupt the stars. Every creation waited for its spoken moment. And so did your breakthrough. It wasn't behind schedule. It was waiting for the moment I whispered into your destiny before the foundations of the world were formed. You may have felt forgotten, but I was focused. Focused on placing each miracle at the exact second it would bear the most fruit, silence, the loudest lies, and shock every voice that doubted your becoming. So now, as you prepare to step into tomorrow, know this. The clock you feared was against you has been ticking toward you the whole time. Every second had been holding hands with heaven's plan. Every minute had been marinated in mercy. What you thought was missed is actually mature. You are walking into a moment that didn't arrive quickly because it was too heavy to be delivered casually. The timing had to be tight. The alignment had to be exact, because when I unveil what's next, it won't be fragile. It will be fortified. And when people ask how it happened, so suddenly, you'll know the truth. It wasn't sudden. It was strategic. Don't mourn the pace. Don't regret the wait, because now you'll see that nothing was wasted. Not one sigh, not one tear, not one delay. It was all preparation for precision. And when I align things, I don't do it with general motion. I do it with millisecond majesty. So stand ready. Heaven is aligning realities with breathtaking clarity. And your name is on the schedule, right on time, right on purpose, right on the edge of glory. My beloved, hear me clearly. The very air around you is about to feel different. The same room you've wept in will begin to tremble with a tenderness you've never felt before. Because when you wake tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, the weight of heaven's agenda will already be present in your atmosphere. It will not knock. It will not ask permission. It will hover like glory and settle like oil. What I have prepared is not still en route. It is already here, wrapped in reverence, saturated with significance, and resting with anticipation, waiting for your awareness to catch up with my readiness. You won't have to stir anything up. You won't need to fight for it. You'll wake up in it like the dew on the morning grass. My agenda will be resting on everything. Your home, your body, your decisions, your conversations. You'll feel it in the stillness, a spiritual weight, a heaviness that births, not pressure that breaks, but presence that builds. And let me be clear, this is not a symbolic visitation. This is a strategic arrival. You are not being visited. You are being invaded by purpose. What I've prepared carries more than answers. It carries activation. The things you've only dared to journal about are about to stand up in your real life. The whispers you've wondered if I really said they will be confirmed without question. The dreams you buried because they felt too big, they are about to breathe again. Because I'm not just bringing fulfillment, I'm bringing function. My agenda carries instruction. It carries movement. It carries a manifestation so sharp, so sure, it will cut through the thickest confusion and crown your mind with clarity you didn't know you needed. I am unwrapping scrolls with your name written in eternal ink. Scrolls that have waited generations for their reading. Scrolls that angels have hovered over in silence. And tomorrow, child, I am breaking the seal. The scroll will not just be read, it will be released. And what is released will not trickle. It will transform. And here's the wonder of it. You won't even have to understand it all. You'll just have to say yes. Just lift your eyes and receive what you never saw coming, but always sensed was possible. This is not the season of theory. It's the season of tangible transaction. So prepare not just your schedule, but your spirit. This is not about doing more. It's about recognizing more. Recognizing when heaven enters the room. Recognizing when the weight you feel isn't weariness. It's the wind of destiny. Recognizing that the subtle shift in atmosphere is actually the sound of strategy unfolding. I'm placing my agenda on your doorstep like a divine delivery. It has been signed in my blood, marked by my spirit, and tailored for your timeline. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be delayed. It can only be embraced. Wake up tomorrow with wonder. Open your eyes like one who expects heaven to speak. Because, child, the agenda is no longer future tense. It's now. It's near. It's naming you as the one it's been waiting for. And when it unfolds, you'll realize that what you've been hoping for had been hovering over you, all along, just waiting for this divine morning to arrive. And now, it has appeared voiced, ready to be unwrapped, and all of heaven is leaning in to watch you open what was written just for you. I have seen you, not just the version of you that smiles in public or tries to hold everything together when others are watching, but the real you. The one who has cried behind closed doors, who has buried questions in the pillow, who has whispered into the void, God, just show me something, anything. I have heard every sigh. I've counted every tear. I sat with you in the silence when answers didn't come, and the ache felt like it would never lift. And I say to you now, with holy authority and unspeakable tenderness, the appointed time has come. You didn't miss it. You didn't delay. You didn't disqualify yourself from it. You've waited faithfully even when your heart felt fragile. You've walked forward in obedience even when you could only see one trembling step at a time. You didn't abandon the process, though you were tempted to. You didn't curse me in your confusion, though it would have been easy to. You stayed. You endured. You trusted me with fragments of hope. And for that, I honor you now with this announcement. Heaven's appointed time has arrived. Not someday, not maybe. You understand this, my child. I do not speak in empty phrases. When I say appointed, I mean a moment etched in eternity's calendar with your name on it. A moment where the invisible veil lifts. A moment where what was once concealed becomes manifest. You cried out for clarity, and I saw that cry not as weakness, but as worship. Your longing for understanding was not rebellion. It was a reflection of how deeply you trust me. Even when you begged for answers, what you were really saying was, Lord, I know you hold them. And now clarity is coming. Not all at once, but with undeniable certainty. The fog will begin to lift. The weight in your chest will begin to shift, not because your circumstances suddenly look different, but because you are standing in a divinely appointed hour. I have waited for this moment, not because you were unworthy before, but because I was preparing more than you could comprehend. I don't give fragments, I give fullness, and now the fullness is near. You thought you were being overlooked, child, but you were being overprotected. You believed the delay meant denial, but it meant deep development. What I've built in you during the waiting, the resilience, the discernment, the depth, that is the foundation upon which I will now pour blessing. And I need you to understand this. Not every tear was about pain. Some were intercession. You didn't even know what you were birthing in those silent moments. But I knew, and now you're about to hold what you travailed for. So rise tomorrow, not as one who's just surviving, but as one who's standing in her season. This is not false hope. This is fulfillment hope. The time has come. The appointed time. Not a general release, but a specific outpouring for a specific person in a specific moment. And you, my child, are that person. You have reached that moment. I am not just moving. I'm moving for you. Can I tell you a secret, child? What seems sudden to you has not been sudden to me. What feels like a swift shift in your world is actually a slow reveal of what I've been preparing all along. You thought I was quiet. You assumed nothing was happening. But heaven had been humming with activity on your behalf. I've been orchestrating beneath the surface, not absent, but intentional. And now I am moving swiftly, not in panic, not in haste, but in precision speed, because the layers of silence have been peeled back, and now the movement can be seen. You may have even whispered, "Where are you, God?" While I was building the very bridge you will walk across tomorrow. I was never still. I was never distracted. I was doing deep work. You couldn't see the roots growing beneath the soil, but I was there, watering, watching, waiting for the right moment to let the blossom break through. Now the time has come. The season is shifting. The hidden is becoming visible. The seal is opening. And the movement you will witness is not my beginning. It's my unveiling. You see, the enemy wanted you to interpret stillness as abandonment. He hoped you'd confuse silence with absence, but I am not absent. I am not indifferent. I have been moving in silence, in shadows, in sacred strategies. What you couldn't see was not a lack of activity. It was a layer of protection. I kept things hidden until they were strong enough to be revealed. I allowed processes to unfold out of your view, so you would not sabotage them with fear or premature judgment. And now, because the structure is secure, the vessel is ready. The time is ripe. I am lifting the veil. My movement will not come with chaos, but with clarity. You'll look back in awe, realizing that what felt like a sudden wave was actually the result of a river that's been flowing underground for years. You will say, "Lord, why didn't I see this before?" And I will answer, because I was doing it in you before I did it around you. What is happening now is not just fast. It is fulfilled. The fruit is ripe. The soil has been tilled. The harvest is not just coming. It's already at your door. So expect acceleration, but do not expect instability. This movement is not frantic. It is firm. It will move quickly, but it will move with kingdom order. My spirit is not rushing to keep up. My spirit is revealing the rhythm I've already established. You'll feel it in conversations that shift without explanation, in doors that swing open without knocking, confirmations that arrive before questions are even spoken. This is swift glory, the kind that turns a chapter in a blink, but tells a story that echoes into eternity. And child here is the most beautiful part. What I reveal now will show you that I was never far. Every step, every sigh, every waiting moment was part of the choreography. I was dancing through the dark places, singing over the silent seasons, working miracles in the mud before you ever saw the bloom. And now I am moving swiftly, surely, sovereignly, not because I'm catching up, but because I'm catching you up to what I've been doing all along. I know how long you searched the skies for signs. You've scanned your days, your dreams, your surroundings, whispering, "God, just give me a sign." Anything, a clue, a hint, a confirmation. and I've seen how tender your faith has remained even when answers felt distant. But now lean in. I'm not sending signs tomorrow. I'm sending a shift. This is not a symbolic moment. It is a sovereign move. This is not a breadcrumb of hope. It is a full banquet of transformation. I am not teasing your faith with a wink. I am turning the page with my own hand. This shift will not be subtle. It will not be small. It will not come quietly like a whisper in the night. It will arrive like a wind that rearranges landscapes. Signs can be missed. Signs can be misread. But a shift, a true divine shift, cannot be mistaken. You won't need a prophetic interpretation to know what is happening. You will feel it in your bones. You will sense it in the atmosphere. The air will taste different. Time will move differently. But what once was stagnant will suddenly surge. I'm shifting things not beside you, but in you and through you. Let me make this clear. A sign points to something coming, but a shift is the arrival itself. Signs are precursors. Shifts are presence. Tomorrow, you're not getting a message about movement. You are stepping into the movement itself. I'm not sending another encouragement. I'm sending activation. You've had enough signals. You've collected confirmations. You sat long enough at the edge of readiness. Now the ground is moving. Not as a warning, but as a welcome into what I've been building beneath your feet. And child, this shift won't just affect what you see. It will affect how you see. It will recalibrate your lens. You will look at old battles and see them through new eyes, not as moments of weakness, but as markings of warrior wisdom. Relationships will realign. Assignments will reemerge. Desires you buried in resignation will be resurrected in power. The shift is a holy redefinition. I am redefining what success means to you. Redefining what peace looks like. Redefining what you are capable of, not based on your past, but based on my prophetic design. I know the enemy will try to make you overthink this moment. He'll try to tell you it's just another day. But I say to you, tomorrow is a portal, not a placeholder. It carries a power only accessible by those who are postured in surrender. That's why you've been feeling like something is pressing against your spirit. That's why you've been waking up with unexplainable urgency, because your spirit already feels the tremors of the coming shift. It's not coming in a week. It's not down the road. It's crossing the threshold even now. So do not brace for a hint. Prepare for a hand. I am placing something in your life that will not simply inspire you. It will commission you. You've asked me for direction. But now I am not giving directions. I'm giving divine momentum. You are stepping into the current of something irreversible. The shift is not around you. It is upon you. It is not abstract. It is active. And child, this isn't just your season. This is your moment of motion. The shift has begun. You've just heard it. I am shifting you from waiting into walking. My child, if this word has stirred your spirit and awakened something deep within you, do not keep it to yourself. Write amen in the comments right now if you believe that tomorrow carries your divine tipping point. Type, I receive my breakthrough, if you are ready to step out of waiting and into walking. Share this video with someone who has been carrying the pressure and the promise at the same time. Your comment, your like, and your share are not just actions. They are acts of faith that release this word into the atmosphere for others who need to hear it. Do not let this message end without leaving your mark of agreement. Heaven is watching how you respond to what I have spoken over your life today. Type it now, share it now, and watch what I begin to do in your tomorrow.